On a serene morning, Buddha sat beneath a Bodhi tree, his disciples listening attentively. The air carried gentle whispers of nature. A farmer approached Buddha, his face etched with worry and regret. Bowing respectfully, he began his tale, voice trembling slightly. One of the older disciples, a potter by trade, raised his hand and bowed deeply to the Buddha. "Master," he began, his voice wavering with the weight of years. "How does one approach aging without suffering? I seek your wisdom." He gestured for the farmer to sit beside him peacefully. "Tell me what troubles your spirit," Buddha said, his voice tranquil and soothing. The farmer described an argument that had begun over misplaced tools in his barn. Anger surged, and he scolded his plowman harshly without thought. "Master, I regret my actions, but my words cannot be taken back," the farmer lamented mournfully. Buddha nodded gently, acknowledging the weight of the farmer's anguish within his being. He began his teaching, his voice resonating with timeless wisdom and clarity. "Words, like arrows, fly swiftly, often wounding before we grasp their consequences fully," Buddha explained softly. "Master, is it wrong to desire the vitality of youth? Is this not a natural longing?" The Buddha smiled gently, acknowledging the honesty within the question. "Desiring youth is like chasing shadows," he replied, his voice steady yet soothing. "Shadows cannot be held." He reached for a fallen leaf, its edges curled with age, and held it between his fingers. That assistant, carrying hurt, lashed out at his family, spreading the pain inflicted upon him further. Buddha paused, letting his audience absorb the unfolding ripple of harm in the story thoughtfully. When anger clouds our judgment, our actions often seed suffering in places we fail to see immediately, Buddha said gently. Ananda, seated nearby, furrowed his brows deeply, reflecting on the profound nature of this teaching completely. "Master, can pausing truly prevent harm even in moments where anger feels overwhelming?" Ananda asked earnestly. Buddha turned his gaze toward Ananda, his expression serene, embodying the essence of patience and compassion. "See the sparrow, untroubled by age or time. It acts within its moment, free from fear of tomorrow." The disciples followed the bird's movements, their collective thoughts seemingly transported to a simpler, purer way of existing. The Buddha spoke again, his tone reflective, as though addressing not just them but the very essence of life itself. "Observe that tree. Despite storms, it remains rooted, grounded in stillness and calm," Buddha taught, his tone steady. "Pausing is like grounding yourself, rooting your thoughts before the storm of emotions carries you away recklessly," Buddha explained. The farmer nodded, understanding the importance of self-awareness and mindfulness in moments of emotional turmoil fully. "Master, can pausing also heal relationships strained by words spoken impulsively?" a disciple asked hopefully. Buddha recounted a tale of two brothers, estranged by harsh words, yet reunited through reflection and heartfelt communication eventually. "When we pause, we create space to mend and nurture connections rather than sever them irreparably," Buddha said. Kindly, "The horizon," he said, "is neither the beginning nor the end. It is the meeting point, the transition of elements." Buddha smiled, his presence radiating warmth and encouragement, like sunlight breaking through dense clouds of ignorance. The disciples, inspired, murmured their commitment to embodying Buddha's teachings in their own lives deeply. "To age consciously," he said, "is to find joy in transitions, to honor the moments that shape the whole." The breeze carried the Buddha's words to every ear, each syllable weaving a thread of connection among the group. Ananda watched him leave, a quiet determination dawning within himself to deepen his practice of mindful speech daily. Buddha gazed at his disciples, their expressions thoughtful, their minds reflecting on the profound lessons shared with them. The power of pausing lies not just in avoiding harm but in cultivating compassion and wisdom with every choice, Buddha concluded. The grove fell silent, each disciple immersed in contemplation, the serenity of the morning resonating within them completely. Another day, the disciples walked alongside Buddha near the peaceful banks of the Ganges River under a clear sky. The waters shimmered gently, reflecting the serenity of the moment, as birds sang melodious tunes nearby. Along the riverbank, they noticed a fisherman casting his net with deliberate precision and remarkable calmness. Intrigued by the fisherman's demeanor, Ananda approached him, his curiosity evident in his steps and expression. "Friend, you seem at peace while fishing. What guides such tranquility in your work?" Ananda asked politely. The fisherman turned, offering a faint smile, his face weathered but calm, exuding a quiet wisdom. "I learned long ago the futility of haste. Stillness brings clarity to the waters and my actions," the fisherman replied. Buddha, observing the exchange, stepped closer, his presence radiating a sense of profound calm and understanding. This man has embraced the art of pause. In silence, he has found harmony with the flow of life, Buddha said. The disciples gathered around Buddha, sensing the beginning of another meaningful teaching, their attention fully captured by his presence. "Master, how can silence transform actions into wisdom and bring clarity in the midst of life's challenges?" A disciple asked sincerely. Buddha turned to the flowing river, its gentle currents weaving their way around rocks and reeds unhurriedly. "Consider the river. It moves purposefully, unhurried yet unstoppable, adapting to obstacles without losing its essence," Buddha began thoughtfully. The fisherman nodded in agreement, his gaze fixed on the rippling water, resonating deeply with Buddha's words. "Impulsive actions are like turbulent waters. They obscure vision and scatter clarity," Buddha continued, his voice steady and serene. The disciples listened intently, their eyes reflecting the depth of their contemplation as they absorbed the profound truth. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts touched by the wisdom shared, their minds set on the path of conscious aging. Another day, the sun rose gently over the fields, casting a warm golden glow upon the harvested grains. The Buddha walked among the rows of ripened rice, his steps deliberate, his robes flowing like a gentle stream. His disciples followed closely, each carrying silent questions within their hearts, seeking wisdom in his presence. Stranded and alone, he encountered a hermit who taught him to pause and observe before reacting, Buddha explained. The hermit's guidance transformed the prince's approach to challenges, teaching him to respond with patience and clarity henceforth. By pausing, the prince found not only his way but also the wisdom to lead with compassion and foresight. Buddha concluded. Ananda, reflecting on the story, asked, "Master, how can we cultivate this practice of pause amidst our daily responsibilities and uncertainties?" Buddha gestured toward the fisherman, who had resumed casting his net with deliberate focus and calmness. "Observe his patience. Each cast is a decision made after stillness and consideration," Buddha said, his voice calm yet compelling. To pause is not to stop but to create space for understanding. Aligning our actions with wisdom, Buddha elaborated. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, their minds echoing with the resonance of Buddha's profound teaching. Aging, the Buddha continued, is not solitary but part of a collective journey, deeply intertwined with those we encounter. An older monk, his face lined with the passage of many seasons, stepped forward to speak. He recounted a tale of two travelers who, through misunderstandings, nearly parted ways but reconciled through mindful communication. In the space created by a pause, they found clarity and mended their bond, Buddha shared, his voice imbued with warmth. The disciples marveled at the power of a simple pause to transform relationships and decisions. alike profoundly. The fisherman, having finished his work, bowed toward Buddha, silently expressing his gratitude for the shared wisdom. Buddha smiled, acknowledging the unspoken connection between them, a reflection of shared understanding and respect. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow across the river, Buddha turned to his disciples. Remember, the pause is a gift, not a delay. It is where wisdom breathes and clarity emerges, Buddha said. Purpose is not a fixed destination, he said. It flows like a river, adapting to the landscapes it encounters. Another day, under the silver glow of a full moon, Buddha walked among his disciples. The night calm and serene. The gentle rustling of leaves accompanied their footsteps. The world seemingly at peace with its rhythmic stillness. A soldier appeared, carrying a broken arrow, his eyes shadowed with regret, his hands trembling as he bowed deeply. Master, I have harmed another in anger, and this arrow reminds me of the sorrow I carry within, he confessed. Buddha observed the soldier's torment, his expression calm yet imbued with profound empathy for the pain the man bore. Gesturing for the soldier to sit, Buddha said, "Tell me your story. Speak freely, for your heart is heavy with burden." The soldier described a moment of rage in battle, when impulsivity had driven him to fire the fateful arrow. "I failed to pause and reflect on my actions. Anger clouded my judgment, and now sorrow consumes my spirit," he lamented. Buddha nodded slowly, understanding the soldier's anguish and the lessons hidden within the moment of regret before him. Anger, when left unchecked, acts swiftly and harms indiscriminately, leaving regret in its wake for those who yield to it, Buddha began. The disciples gathered closer, their expressions thoughtful, sensing the depth of the lesson unfolding before them. "Master, how can pausing help in moments when emotions overwhelm and cloud judgment?" A disciple asked earnestly. Buddha reached for the broken arrow, holding it delicately, its jagged edges gleaming faintly in the moonlight above. "This arrow, when released without thought, pierces more than flesh. It wounds relationships, trust, and the harmony we strive to preserve," Buddha explained. The soldier lowered his head, reflecting deeply on the profound meaning woven into Buddha's words with such clarity. "Consider each decision as drawing a bow. Pause to aim your actions with precision and compassion rather than recklessness," Buddha said. The disciples nodded, their minds deeply engaged in the teaching, the metaphor illuminating their understanding fully. Buddha shared a story, his voice resonant with wisdom, drawing every listener into the vivid images of the tale. A king, enraged by betrayal, ordered his guard to attack the accused. Ignoring the truth in his haste to punish, Buddha recounted. The disciples listened intently, imagining the intensity of the king's anger and the consequences that followed his impulsive decision clearly. In his fury, the king harmed an innocent man, but regret soon consumed him, leaving his leadership weakened and fractured, Buddha concluded. Ananda, reflecting on the story, asked, "Master, can pausing restore peace within oneself after harm has already been done?" Buddha smiled gently, his gaze serene, carrying the weight of centuries of wisdom and compassion for the question. Even in regret, pausing creates space for transformation, allowing the seed of understanding to grow where harm has taken root, Buddha replied. The soldier looked up, his expression softening, his mind grasping the profound possibility for redemption through mindfulness completely. "Master, how can one learn to pause amidst the chaos and intensity of daily challenges?" A disciple inquired thoughtfully. Buddha gestured to the night sky, its vast expanse adorned with stars, each shimmering in stillness and unity above them. "Observe the stars. They do not rush. They remain steadfast, shining their light calmly even amidst the darkness surrounding them," Buddha said. Pausing is like grounding your thoughts within the vast expanse of stillness. allowing clarity to illuminate your choices, Buddha explained further. The disciples exchanged quiet murmurs, the metaphor enriching their understanding of the practice and its transformative power fully. Buddha shared another tale, his voice steady, his words resonating with timeless wisdom that captured every mind. Two artisans, competing fiercely, nearly ruined their craft with haste. But a mentor guided them toward mindful reflection before each stroke, Buddha said. Through reflection, the artisans found harmony in their work, creating pieces that radiated beauty and precision, not rivalry. Their pause allowed mastery to flourish, teaching them patience and the value of mindful creation, Buddha concluded kindly. The soldier, inspired by the story, bowed low, his hands trembling less, his spirit lighter with resolve for redemption. Master, I will carry this broken arrow as my teacher, reminding me to pause before each decision I make, he vowed. Buddha smiled, his expression warm and encouraging, his presence a beacon of light amidst the darkness of night. The disciples, deeply moved, echoed their commitment to practicing the art of pausing in every aspect of their lives continually. The night fell silent once more, the moonlight bathing the grove in serenity and peace that resonated deeply within all hearts. Buddha's teachings wove their way into the souls of his disciples, a tapestry of wisdom uniting their spirits with understanding. Pause is the space where regret transforms into wisdom and choices illuminate the path of compassion, Buddha concluded wisely. The soldier departed, his steps steady, his heart resolute, his spirit lighter under the moonlit sky of infinite possibilities. The disciples remained, immersed in contemplation, their hearts united in the resolve to embody mindfulness in their lives completely. The disciples listened intently, their expressions a mix of reverence and curiosity as the Buddha continued. To prepare for the end, one must first understand that the journey has no true conclusion, only transformation. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.